The story starts in a hospital where our MC is playing games, but he is bored of every game. Then he finds a game called Dungeon and Stone on a forum. It's a 2D pixelated game, which he doesn't usually play, but since it's free and he's bored, he decides to give it a try. It's a rogue-type game where if you die, you have to start over from the beginning. Without noticing, he plays it for hours and becomes addicted. He plays it everywhere he goes for 9 years. Finally, after 9 years, he reaches the final boss room. After opening it, he receives a notification that the tutorial is complete. Suddenly, a light emanates from the screen, and he is sucked into the game world. He opens his eyes and finds himself as a barbarian, standing in the coming-of-age ceremony where barbarians choose their first weapon before entering the dungeon. He is shocked and wonders what is happening. Suddenly, a barbarian near him shouts, "It's the game! It's Dungeon and Stone!" After hearing that, the barbarian chief arrives and asks who shouted. The MC points towards the player in fear. The chief approaches the player and chopped his head off and announces that he was possessed by an evil spirit. Realizing that if he stands out, he will die, the MC faces a problem. He doesn't know his name. If he doesn't go when called, he will die. He starts to think of an idea and comes up with a plan. If someone else doesn't respond within 2 seconds, he will act. After some time, a name is called and no one responds. So he goes up on the stage and luckily he gets it right. It was his name. Finally, he discovers his name is Andal's son, Bjorn. With his years of experience playing the game, he chooses a shield as his first weapon because it offers the most survivability. After everyone chooses their weapons, they select their leader, Venom's third son, to guide them towards the dungeon. Because everyone that have gone through coming-of-age ceremony will enter the dungeon. However, after some time they get lost on their way. They decide to choose another leader, Feneline's second daughter Aner, but even she gets lost. Seeing their intelligence, the MC decided to help them and suggests her that they should follow other species to reach the dungeon gate. Aner likes his idea, and they start following other creatures until they finally reach the dungeon gate. However, upon reaching the gate, the MC starts feeling fear. But he have no choice but to go inside because all the citizens of the city need to pay taxes starting from the age of 20, and failure to do so results in execution. Since he is a barbarian, it is impossible for him to find a normal job, and the labyrinth only opens once a month. So he has to go now, but his feet aren't moving because of fear. Then Aner gives him some encouragement, and also thanks him for helping earlier. After that, he gathers his composure and enters the labyrinth. However, instead of transported to the start area, he is transported to an area with complete darkness. Just as he took a few steps, a trap set by a cunning goblin snapped shut beneath his feet. Pain coursed through his body as he began to bleed profusely. The goblin, reveling in its victory, shadowed Bjorn's every move, eagerly awaiting his impending demise. Aware of the goblin's presence, Bjorn feigned weakness and collapsed to the ground, his breathing shallow. Seizing the opportunity, the goblin threw a rock at him, testing to see if he was truly dead. Confirming his suspicion, the goblin approached Bjorn. But Bjorn, despite his injuries, mustered his strength and launched a surprise attack. In a fierce struggle, he emerged victorious, and the goblin's body disappeared. Leaving behind a 9th-grade magic stone, a highly coveted and valuable item in this world. Yet, its worth was equaled that of a mere piece of bread. Despite his victory, Bjorn's wounds continued to bleed profusely, posing a grave threat to his survival. Desperate for aid, he forced himself to keep moving, dragging his injured body across the unforgiving ground. Hour after grueling hour, he fought against the encroaching darkness, his resolve unwavering. The brink of death loomed near, but he refused to succumb. Finally, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness, signifying an exit from the treacherous depths. To his astonishment, a party of seasoned adventurers emerged before him. Seeing his dire condition, they stopped, their captain demanding the assistance of their healer. However, much to their dismay, the healer refused, unwilling to use her limited holy power on a stranger. Undeterred, the captain turned to another party member, asking him to give a healing potion. Reluctant due to its cost, the party member initially refused, but the captain, demonstrating his leadership, promised to repay the debt in due time. Relenting, the party member handed over the potion, and with careful precision, poured it onto Bjorn's injured leg. Unbeknownst to many, potions in this world inflicted a searing pain when used, making them impractical for use in the midst of battle. The healing process was arduous, but Bjorn endured the agony, his wounds slowly closing under the potion's influence. Grateful for their aid, the captain inquired how he had arrived before him. He wondered if there was a hidden shortcut he had missed. Bjorn, tell them what happened, after listening his explanation. The captain explained that such occurrences were exceptionally rare, happening only once or twice every 100 years. Bjorn couldn't help but reflect on his ill-fated luck. With their paths diverging, the party bid him farewell, and Bjorn resumed his exploration of the illuminated area. With a renewed sense of purpose, Bjorn ventured forth, his eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger or opportunity. He knew that the light before him marked the beginning of a new chapter, brimming with challenges and untold treasures. Armed with his resilience, honed skills, Bjorn prepared to face whatever awaited him in this enigmatic realm. Little did he know that his journey had only just begun, and the trials ahead would test him in ways he could never have imagined.
After his near-death experience, he kept running into goblins. They keep coming. At first he was nervous, but after some time, goblins are no threat to him, and traps are randomly placed in the open. The only problems were food and water, because the food he got from the deputy chief was lost when he was crawling on the ground. Only 2 days' worth is left, and the chief did not give any water, so he has to find it in the labyrinth. So he starts searching, and after some time, he finds the water, but there was already someone else there, but he left himself. After that, he drinks water and started counting the magic stones he collected, and there were 44 stones. And now he started to feel tired and started to feel sleepy. There are 2 ways to sleep in the labyrinth. First, live your life in the god's hands and sleep, or second, find allies to protect each other. He tried the second option, but everyone got scared because of his looks and all the blood all over his body. Then suddenly, the man from before comes and asked him if he is looking for an overnight companion. After hearing that, MC got angry. Then he explained that he thought that they could take some sleep while protecting each other. Then MC understands that it was called an overnight companion, and he thought he was saying After that, he agrees, and they play rock, paper, scissors to determine who will sleep first, and MC lost. So the man gives MC a watch and asks him to wake him up after 2 hours. After 2 hours, MC wakes him up, and now it's his turn to sleep, but he can't believe in a stranger. So he pretends to sleep to see if that man does something, but he doesn't do anything. After 2 hours, they change turns again, but MC is frustrated because he didn't get a single minute of sleep, and he was so sleepy that his eyes closed, and MC falls asleep. Then suddenly, that man wakes him up. MC apologizes to him and offers him more time to sleep, but that man refuses. So MC takes his turn and starts sleeping. After some time, that man comes and attacks him with his hammer, but MC blocks it and says he knew that there is no one that kind in this world who forgives and does not take the offer to sleep. They fight, and MC defeats him, asking him why he didn't attack the first time he slept. That man answers that because he also needs sleep. Then MC asks why he attacked him, and the man answers that it's because of his stone, but MC doesn't believe him and attacks him again, asking once more. That man explains that it's because of his heart, and tells him that a barbarian's heart is used for new magical research and sold for a good price. After saying all of that, he starts begging to be let go. Everyone in this world thinks barbarians are stupid and naive. Most of it is true, but our MC is a human inside a barbarian, so he kills him and takes his items. He have many items, like potions. MC starts to think that after only a few hours since he came to this world, he killed someone, and only after killing a man, he is now living like a man. After that, he started to hunt again, and goblins started to come in pairs because it's the second day, but it's not a big problem for our MC. He hunts for 14 hours, but now he started to feel very tired and needs sleep. Because of the previous incident, this time he chose the first option and tried to sleep alone, hoping goblins won't come, but goblins keep coming. After some time, he just closed his eyes, but a goblin attacked him and just missed MC's neck because of height. After that, MC becomes frustrated and decided to find another barbarian, but instead, He meets many humans this time who want to become his overnight companion, maybe because this time he is looking good and didn't cover in blood. But he refused them all and told them that he is looking for another barbarian. Then one man tells him that it's going to be hard to find because most of the barbarians quickly go up to the second floor. Then MC realizes that it would be embarrassing for someone of their build to struggle on the first floor. So he starts to look for any race other than human to become an overnight companion, because every race has a special trait other than human. After some time of searching, he finds an elf. She was injured and afraid. Then MC goes there, and she instantly starts to beg him to let her live. Then MC tries to comfort her, but she gets more scared and says that even if he is a barbarian, let her live just once because she has a younger brother to take care of. Then MC starts to think about what barbarians do. So to make her let her guard down against him a little, he gives her some healing herbs and some bandages he got from the men from before, and asks her to treat her wound first while he stands guard. After she finishes treatment, he introduces himself, and she also tells her name, Erwin. Then he asks her why she is so afraid of him. She tells him that he is a barbarian, and barbarians and elves had a very big war in the past, and now they are hostile towards each other. She says she doesn't care about this, and asks him to let her go. MC didn't know about it. All he knows is that elves and barbarians have a good relationship, so he does not know which timeline this is compared to the game he plays. Then he tells her that he also doesn't care about it, and asks her to become his overnight companion. I know it sounds weird. After thinking for some time, she agrees, but asks him to make an oath on his warrior's honor that he will not harm her. And she also makes an oath in the name of her tribe. Then both make the oath to not harm each other. Then our MC decides to sleep first, and she agrees. So he gives her the pocket watch and asks her to handle it with care because it's expensive. At first he thought that he would pretend to sleep for 10 minutes, but he instantly falls asleep. Then after 2 hours she wakes him. Then he realizes that it's all because of the blanket and the bag, and if Hans, the man from before, lent it to him, he would definitely die there. So he decides to lend them to her, and just like that, they both take a few turns, and now there are only 10 minutes left before the last turn.